edition of the East Wrestling Report. Alongside my partner Ryan, I'm your host Jamie, and this is just the IWR. We're going to do an IWR Topix show. First topic starting out is the announcement of John Cena's tag team partner being The Rock for his match against The Miz, or their match against The Miz and R-Truth at Survivor Series. Hearing about this and thinking this is the first announcement of The Rock going to be back in there after 7 years, not being in the ring action, and having this first match be at Survivor Series, not being at WrestleMania. Where we thought there could be a possibility of The Rock being thrown into a match or thrown into reffing or something like that here and there before WrestleMania 28 and next year. But it's just something that I said right after they announced it, the Raw after WrestleMania 27. Is hearing this huge match is going to be at WrestleMania 28. And as soon as I heard about that, I'm like, I do not want to see The Rock in a match before WrestleMania 28. I want to have that first match be with John Cena at WrestleMania 28, nothing in between, no tag matches, and this is what we're going to be getting here. It's something going to be weird to see, The Rock and John Cena, how they react, how they, go about being partners with each other. If The Rock comes in and still just absolutely hates John Cena, which is I'm hoping what we see. I don't hope we see the cheesy little, let's get together for one night and be friends and partners and all that bull crap, which would be just stupid to see. But the impending tag team match at Survivor Series, some pretty big news being brought in here. The Rock returning at Survivor Series in this tag team matchup.
Yeah, exactly like he said. I do not want these guys to pretend like they even like each other at all. No acting. It'd be terrible if they just get in there and just let's team together and yay and everything be great. I want this match to cause dissension to lead towards their feud leading up till WrestleMania. I would love to see this end with just The Rock just beating down John Cena somehow, some way, shape, or form at the end of this, and then continuing on with that. But it's interesting because, to me, like he said about, I want The Rock just to come in and do this WrestleMania, and that'd be the first match back. This almost kind of takes away from the feel of it being like, oh, The Rock, he's coming back. It's gonna, his first match, is gonna be John Cena WrestleMania, and then, oh, wait, let's have The Rock team with John Cena. And I can see where they're getting with this. They maybe want to, add more to the story and make it, build it up more and do this and do that. And if everyone wants to see The Rock, and I would almost guarantee that just because The Rock's on this, it's going to have extra buys. People are going to buy it just for that reason.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to see what happened with CM Punk and Triple H here. I don't want to see this, these guys, acting like they like each other, and it just, to me, wouldn't make any sense. It'll hurt. It'll hurt the quality of this feud and this storyline leading up if they just have it act like they are goody-goody, you know what I mean?
It doesn't fit at all because that's what we've seen all along. These guys, John Cena is trying to be like, I haven't done anything to make you hate me, and John Cena, or The Rock just hates him. And, we can't have that dynamic change going into WrestleMania because that's what you need for that match. You need the polar opposites against each other and clashing there. If we see that kind of, back and forth buddy bullcrap at Survivor Series, would be bullcrap, or it'd just be stupid. But the one thing that kind of is overshadowed here is the bigness of this match for The Miz and R-Truth. I mean, this is a huge match for these guys. Miz, his idol when he was growing up, when he watched wrestling, is The Rock. So this is huge for these kind of guys. Big opportunity for them. So hopefully they can shine and step up their performances for this big upcoming match at Survivor Series. Next topic up, we have TNA. Overall TNA kind of thoughts here, and TNA and Eric Bischoff's overall, the big, the heads of TNA really in their infatuation with ratings and everything going on with TV, and their ideas that the ratings on Impacts and on TV make more sense than caring about what they deliver on their pay-per-views and what that has done, especially coming off their biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory, ending the way it did, with Bobby Roode getting screwed out of the World Championship over Kurt Angle and having him retain, and almost ending it like you would see a World Championship match on an Impact, and then going to Impact the next night and having the title change hands to James Storm and having all this go down and the huge ratings that it got there. Just big stuff that really makes you think of what Eric Bischoff has done in the past with a company like WCW, with his overall obsession with the TV ratings and wanting to bring down Vince McMahon and WWF, and what he did there to overhaul Nitro to make it almost a pay-per-view quality every single night. And once they got to the pay-per-views, they built it backwards. They built their pay-per-views almost to continue things that ended up big stuff that would happen on Nitros, and then really just flip-flop of what happens there is the same kind of stuff that we're seeing here. So, TNA's infatuation with the ratings is really starting to come to the forefront now.
Yeah, the ratings, it really bothered me because, I think that's where they need to really produce as their pay-per-views. You know, talking about, what was it, they were down 15 some odd thousand buys or
almost
something.
20,000. I mean, Bound for Glory this year got 20 to 25,000 buys, and last year got like 40 to 45,000. So.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You know, the setup, you don't need to set up for your pay-per-view and then to have everything happen on your Impact. You know, it would be one thing if your show was live.
Yeah.
If your show was live and, you know, it ran like that, if it was like Nitro and you could run it like that, then that would make more sense. But with today's technology and internet, you know everything before it's going to happen. So, you know, and with TNA, you know, Eric Bischoff is one of those guys who says, you know, he hates internet marks and he hates, you know, this about the internet, and internet has ruined wrestling and blah, 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 blah. TNA Impact Wrestling thrives off of the internet.
Yep.
I've said this before in another video that I did, that as long as they're doing stuff that is outlandish, crazy, wild, just stuff that people are like, really? Everyone is always talking about TNA. TNA is always in everybody's mouths. Everyone is always speaking about what they are doing wrong, and hating on them, and ranting, and blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Everyone is always talking about what they're doing, and wants to, if not see them succeed, wants to see them become a train wreck. You know, and that's really what it is. They're so worried about the ratings and the show that the quality of their pay-per-views this year alone might possibly be the worst year for their pay-per-views ever. Yeah. It's sad to say that, you know, but their pay-per-view quality this year has just been really bad, and you know, there's been a couple of good gems here and there. You know, Bound for Glory was not a bad show, but you know, you just don't end Bound for Glory like that. You know, they did, and then go on do what they did with James Storm, and got a good rating, but. I mean, that's something you want to do on your pay-per-view.
Yeah, it almost seems like, and they're doing it with the right guys. You know, the main event scene right now, they're doing it with the right guys. But, you know, the way they're doing it almost seems like they're desperate. It almost seems like they're trying to do something quick and trying to get it out there to where, you know, we're going to change. You know, we've heard everybody online, everybody that, you know, talks about TNA. They want to see changes. They want to see the old guys filter out and the new guys that, you know, the originals, the guys that are in there that should be in the limelight of TNA, you know, start to be focused on some more. And they're starting to do that now. They're starting to really focus on the talent they should be. But it almost seems like they're desperately trying to get to positions they want to get to. And, you know, with the ratings that they want to always get, you know, the 2.2 million viewers that they got, which is the highest in the Thursday time slot they got since the Monday, January 4th, 2010 episode with the debut of Hulk Hogan and the debut of them on Monday and everything. All this stuff they want to do, they really are just striving to get to that, you know, what they want to be. And it's almost in that kind of transitional period to where, you know, it's hard to look at it right now, but when we look back on it, it looks like they're desperate right now. And really they are desperate, but it really is starting to really shine through and really, you know, seem very obvious of what they're trying to do. But it'll be interesting to see what goes on with TNA in the upcoming months and time period coming on with more impacts coming up here. But now moving on to the last topic will be our thoughts on Ring of Honor TV on the Sinclair Broadcast Group so far. It's been on for about a month now. Really some stellar stuff, you know, bringing on Nigel McGuinness returning to be a color commentator, just having quality match after quality match. They've had all their titles defended now, the World Tag titles, the TV title, the World title. I think they defended their TV title again last week. But really the match that shines through so far is the World Championship match with Davey Richards and Roderick Strong. Some really great stuff. And, you know, they're really doing it the right way. They're showing people, unlike what they did on HDNet, where they kind of just threw on what the product was at the time and what they were doing. What they're doing right now in Sinclair Broadcast Group that I really like is they're showing fans that have not watched Ring of Honor what they're really all about. They're showing, you know, the inside Ring of Honor bits, talking about the Code of Honor, talking about, you know, past guys, talking about their DVDs that they've had, talking about this and that, their website, all this, to get the, you know, the casual wrestling fan into what Ring of Honor is really all about. And I think they're doing about it in a great way, as Ring of Honor always does things in great ways. But really producing great matches, you know, continuing storylines. The only thing I had to say is the same thing that really happened with HDNet is their taping schedule's a little behind on what's going on with current. It's the only really, you know, tiff you could have with them right now. But still, it's close enough to keep up with what's going on. They keep you current on, you know, within our local area, you know, with St. Louis coming up with the upcoming Collinsville show in November. You know, they have local commercials talking about the show coming up, and I know they've probably done that in the areas with, you know, shows coming up in their areas also. But, you know, just going about the great way. And Ring of Honor on Sinclair Broadcast Group has been some pretty good stuff so far. Yeah,
you know, like you said, they are doing this the right way. They're not over, you know, booking the shows. They're not having, you know, they're having 2, maybe 3 matches on the show. You know, they're showcasing the main, you know, portion of the show at the end of the night with, you know, their top guys. basically the first 3 shows having all titles defended at the end, which was a good move to show different aspects of it. Like you said, Roderick Strong and Davey Rich was very good. Jay Lethal and El Generico was very, very good as well. So I mean, it's interesting to see where they're going to go with this into the future. I really enjoy the product. Here we have it shows real late at night, but it also replays in the morning. And I think it's an interesting throwback if Ring of Honor could possibly get that old school feel back to it, to have like that Saturday morning wrestling, or Sunday morning is when it airs here. Yeah. Interesting, because I think it's interesting because they always have all the late night shows and stuff with WWE and TNA and stuff. To get an early morning, type when they, like they did years ago.
Yeah, and that fits Ring of Honor because of the wrestling quality that they used to have.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the product itself is great, and they're really showcasing guys. Having them cut promos and do little segments here and there, and really, showing as a whole what they, can really work with. And like I said, the production value, not as good as HDNet, but it's HDNet. It's HD and it's better. But the way they have everything set up, it feels very, underground. It feels very,
very Ring of Honor.
Yeah, very Ring of Honor. And I thought when I first saw this, I was worried a little bit that maybe they would change up too much or do something and mess it up. It still has that, Ring of Honor feel to it, and they're getting back into place, And like he said about it, they are a little ahead of themselves. They'll run some, some indie shows, some house show stuff, and and be a little ahead of their actual TV tapings, and different stuff will happen. But it really doesn't. I don't really think it hurts the product that much. No. So if you haven't checked out Ring of Honor at all, if it's in your area, please check it out. Sinclair Broadcasting Network. Yeah. If you're looking for good televised just matches alone, you're gonna find it here. If you don't even care about storyline or anything, you're gonna find good to great matches on television almost every week. So.
And I can almost guarantee, with the the promos they've been showing for the live shows, I can almost guarantee there's going to be an influx of a lot more new fans of Ring of Honor with it being on television now, just like it was with HDNet, with the influx of new fans and everything like that. So just keep building on top of each other, and this is what Ring of Honor does the right way. They know how to build this company, and they know how to make it the right way. And I love how the Sinclair Broadcast Group guys really are getting behind Ring of Honor and letting them doing it their own way, and the way Ring of Honor does it, instead of changing everything and making it all different. The only thing they've changed really is just their logo, and it looks badass. So, I mean, it's really great that they're getting behind Ring of Honor and letting Ring of Honor really control the way they are, but under Sinclair Broadcast Group. So that's some great stuff. That will now end our IWR Topix show. For my partner, Ryan, I'm your host, J-Man. Thank you for watching another edition of the Instant Wrestling Report, your source for professional wrestling news, information, opinions, instantly. Bang, bang.